Hello everybody, I am Ted and welcome. For this thing I'm going to be doing a tier list maker for Clash Royale. Never done one of these. I've never really done a tier maker, I think, on my channel. And we're going to be going through all the cards, except these ones that I wasn't here for. I will be at least doing Old Furnace. These other ones, I don't even know they were events. But first we're going to start with skeletons. Now, because of the kiting potential for skeletons, I think that's immediately just a S tier. Skeletons are amazing in a lot of situations. Bomber is a very good cheap unit for clearing out Swarm. I would put him at A tier. Goblins, just normal goblins, you know, decent for kiting. Not super strong. Well, I'd probably put them at B tier. Goblin Spears, barely ever used them. I don't really care for them. I'm going to put that as a C tier. Troop. It's decent, but it's not something that I genuinely care for. Zap. Zap is a very good, useful card in many situations. We are going to put Zap at A tier. I think Zap's a pretty solid card. Now we got Knight. Good old Knight. Knight, I'm thinking B tier. Knight's really good, but I don't think he's good enough to be A or S. The same goes for archers. I love me archers, but they're going in B tier. Now minions. Minions have been buffed so many times. I don't know how many times they've been buffed in this game, but they are super good right now. They are so good that I believe they belong in S tier. Then we go with arrows. Arrows are your basic screw any type of swarm, any scenario. I would definitely put them in A tier. I don't think it's an S tier spell. I do think it's an A tier. Cannon, really, I only ever see cannons for hog riders. It can be good. It can be decent, good defense. I will put that at B tier. Cannon's always just a hog rider deck. It's a solid building. As for Tesla, Tesla is definitely, in my opinion, A tier. Tesla takes not really, I wouldn't say a lot of skill. I mean, I just use it for an Expo deck, like every other person probably who has an Expo deck. Motor. Honestly, probably one of the most skilled buildings in the game to actually use Motor. Personally, I like Motor. I think it's a very good building. It's just really hard to use, and I'm not good at using it. It's definitely not C tier. I want to put Motor at S tier, but I don't know how. If we're going, this is not the Evoed. So if we're going off normal Motor, I think A tier. Barbarian's 5-cost elixir card. Very good for clearing up a lot of stuff. I'm not so sure how I want to deal with the barbarians. They're a solid unit. I'd put that at B tier, I think. Minion Swarm, I've never had them at high enough level. I don't use them enough. They will shred a tank, but arrows can completely just say no. I'm thinking Minion Horde, just because of the elixir exchanges that can happen between this card. Probably a C tier, as good as it is. Now we got, let's see, Graveyard. I think that's just called Graveyard. Or Skeleton Graveyard, which is a solid building. I put that at B tier. Classic Musketeer, that's an A tier. Valkyrie is an A tier. I don't care for Hog Rider. I'm not the biggest Hog Rider fan, but in my own opinion, I'd put Hog Rider at B tier. It's a good card, but I rarely lose to Hog Rider, and I feel like Hog is very situational. You have to outcycle your opponent all the time. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is just absolutely a S tier. Mini P.E.K.K.A. has so much potential. Fireball, decent spell. Very, very decent spell. But Fireball's probably B tier for me. Bomber Tower, underrated. Probably an underrated building, I'd say. I don't know how often it's used. I'd probably put Bomber Tower As much as I like Bomber Tower, I mean, no, it actually does help me clutch a lot. I'd probably put it in A. Bomber Tower does help me a lot. Now, the best building is one of the best buildings in the game. Right here, Goblino Hut. You play a Goblin Hut, your opponent gets screwed if they try to go in, because it's just so defensive. We got our Classic Giant. Classic Giant's an S tier. Wizard, 5 elixir cost, freaking anti-storm most of the time, but decent damage. So much decent damage that I could put him at A tier. Inferno Tower, another super good building unit, which I would put at A tier. Rockets, super expensive, but does a lot of damage. And you really got to be good at using Rocket. Rocket's a B tier spell. Elixir Pump. Now, Elixir Pump, I like Elixir Pump, but I don't think it's the best. I definitely don't think it's one of the top tier buildings. I would put Elixir Pump at C tier. As good as Elixir Pump can be. Now, I think everybody knows where I'm putting this card, because they have just ruined this card. And sadly, Barbarian Hut is F tier. Gonna be one of the only ones probably F tier. Barbarian Hut is just sadly unusable currently in Clash, in my opinion. I think they need to give it a buff, figure out what to do with it, or just delete it and replace it with something new. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Mirror. Mirror is a interesting spell. I don't think Mirror is so bad, but how often it used is really debatable. I've had it used before on me, but it's very situational. I'd say I put it C tier, even though it is pretty good for giving a extra level, but it also depends on what level you have it at. Rage is just a S tier spell. Rage is too good. Still a very good broken spell. Scar Me. S tier for defense. This is an easily good defensive unit. The most annoying freaking card in the game. One of the most annoying cards, Goblin Barrel. Much as I hate Goblin Barrel on the tier list, I've got to give it an A tier. It is a semi-decent spell. It is a very decent, annoying chip damage spell. I would put it A tier. Baby Dragon. Now, normal Baby Dragon, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'd probably put him in C tier. But once we get to the Evo, that's going to change. The Evo's a different story. Freeze, we 100% put in S tier. Love me a Freeze. Which is good. Very good defensive unit. This is actually hard because I want to put Witch in S, but I'm also leaning on if she should be an A. We're going to say Witch is A tier. I don't think she's quite good enough for S tier. Now the Evo, on the other hand, might be S tier. Now we got the Prince. The Prince is interesting. The Prince is just ridiculously annoying and ridiculously good. I think we have to put Prince at straight up S tier. Prince just has that much aura. Now we gotta go with the Balloon. I'm a big fan of Balloon. If you play the Brain Rot Lumberloon. But do I think it deserves S tier? No. I think Balloon is an A tier unit. Now we get to the tougher choices. Skeleton Giant is super fun card. It's a good card, but it's not the best. I mean, it's almost just defensive more than being able to get a push with it. Because then everybody can just kite the hell out of the card. So honestly, I don't think Skeleton Giant's super good right now. It's a good card, but if you just know how to kite it, it's kind of useless right now. In my opinion, I honestly put it at D tier. It's probably one of the worst giants in the game. Well, no, I take that back. Rune Giant's still there. They need a fish Rune Giant. Lightning, a semi-solid spell. I'd probably say we might put this in B tier because it's still a 6 cost elixir. Almost does. It doesn't do as much as a rocket, but it targets 3 units. It can kill a lot of stuff. Maybe it's better than a rocket. I'd say it's probably better than a rocket. Etzbo, you can hate me for this. S tier. I love me an Etzbo. Etzbo is so good. If you get a lock on tower, your opponent is dead. P.E.K.K.A, as much as I hate P.E.K.K.A, also probably an S tier. One of the best tanks in the game. Golem. You gotta notice a repeat here. I can't put Golem as S tier. As much as I love Golem, Golem's super good, but it's more of an A tier because you need to know how to use Golem if you're gonna play Golem. Royal Giant. I love Royal Giant. I'm just gonna put him S tier, even though he probably doesn't belong in S tier. I do love me Royal Giant. I think Royal Giant's amazing. Now we're getting to some interesting cards. The Three Musketeers. Honestly, in my own opinion, way too high cost. Obviously, probably what a lot of people think, but for what you're getting, it is terrifying to go against. But if they got a fireball, obviously it's not that useful. But if you know how to use your Three Musketeers, I would say this is a S tier card for skilled gameplay. Dark Prince, Absolute Swarm Destroyer, gets a shield, but it doesn't have as much aura as a regular Prince. We'll put in at A tier. Poison, I can't say I've used Poison too much often, but I do know it's a good card. I would put that in B tier. Princess is just an annoying chip damage card, it feels like half the time. Honestly, I don't feel like Princess is super good. I'd probably put that B tier. Ice Wizard slows down units. That's all you need to know. He's very good at slowing units. A tier. I wouldn't put him S tier because he doesn't exactly do a lot of damage, but he is definitely A tier. He has a little bit of splash damage. Now we get almost all of those spirits are good. Fire Spirit, probably the S tier. Furnace, Current Furnace rework, very good. Current Furnace is very solid. I would say probably A, and definitely not S, because you can counter a Furnace. Guards, S tier kiting, like S tier defenders, very easy. Miner, annoying, sometimes useless, easy to counter. I have respect for the Miner players who can actually make it work, but I don't think Miner's the best. I think Miner's probably one of the worst legendaries. I put him C tier. Sparky is a God Destroyer. Sparky's always going to be S tier. You can't go wrong with Sparky. This will be the first legendary I put low. I don't care for Lava Hound. I think Lava Hound doesn't do enough damage. I think it's sometimes pointless. You have to have other stuff to push with it, period. It can't go in alone. Never. But that could be said for most cards. But I don't feel like Lava Hound is a good legendary. Definitely not one of the best. I'll put that D tier. Ice Spirit, another S tier freaking... most of the spirits are S tiers. Bowling. I love Bowler. Bowler's an S tier. There's quite a few S tiers in here. Log, one of the first S tier spells. I love Lumberjack, another S tier in my opinion. Ice Golem. At first, Ice Golem I would put so low when I played him. But realizing the potential of having a P.E.K.K.A follow it, and the P.E.K.K.A not getting to do anything, which is hilarious, I will put this A tier. Ice Golem doesn't do any damage, completely useless. It's just good for kiting and tanking. That's about it. But it's funny and it's decent. Mega Minion, it's not better than Minions, but it is a little bit tankier and does good damage, but I have to get way too close, I feel. I put it B tier. Inferno Dragon, a fantastic moving Inferno Tower, pretty much. I put that A tier. I don't think it's S tier, because it can get countered more than a regular Inferno Tower, I think. Graveyard's 100% a skill card. For me, I think it's an S tier, but I wouldn't say I'm super good at it. Elite Barbarians. Now this is where it gets really toxic with the card. I love this card because I like elite barbarians, a little bit of elite barbarians in the what is that called? The rage? E-barbs and rage is a disgusting combo. And you mix that with the heal spirit and it's very funny. Tornado, as good as tornado can be, and very, very annoying that it can be. I don't use it enough. I see the use out of it, but I'd probably put it as a D tier spell. I don't use it enough, and mainly good for just activating King Tower. Mainly, unless you're like trying to get some good splash damage and you have something down already. That's about the most use I see of it. Clone, very situational, can throw off an opponent because nobody expects you to use Clone anymore. I'm going to put that at B, because I don't think Clone's terrible. I don't think it's used enough, no. Electro Wizard, one of the most annoying wizards in the game. Took forever to get him. Hated going against him. As good as he is, he's really just super good for countering Sparky. Other cards it varies. I put him B tier. I feel like he's just like the best Sparky counter. And we got the Goblin Gang is decent card. You just get a swarm of goblins, 3 melee and 3 range. I'll put that C tier. It's not good enough for me to actually ever want to use it. And we got Dark Goggins, which I would always put him S tier. Dark Goblin has carried me a lot. And here's another one that might be weird. I don't know if people even use this card that much, but in my free-to-play right now, I have a 2.8 Battle Ram deck. And it's fun to use. I will put Battle Ram at S tier, because it is a very solid card. Executioner, I don't get to use enough. It's decent, but honestly, for 5 cost, I put him at C tier. Heal Spirit is the only spirit I think that isn't S tier. I think he's A or B. I'll probably put him in B tier. He's a very good spirit, but only with some decks. Bats, easy S tier, very good for tanks. Very good for tanks. Bandit, another S tier, very fun legendary to play with. This is my favorite legendary when I got him. I love Bandit. Night Witch, very good at killing tanks, but it's a melee unit. I have to put it at A tier because it just doesn't belong in S tier. But Night Witch is very good. Skeleton Barrel. I do love me a good Skeleton Barrel. It's one of my favorite cards. One of my favorite spells. I just don't get to use it that often, but I would say it's an S tier. Because it's just a very solid card that your opponent is not ready for most of the time. Now, at first, I really didn't care for Flying Machine because I think it's damn near useless. It's just like a worse musket. A musketeer, whatever the hell they're called. But, I do have to admit it is a flying air unit, so not a lot of times are they going to be able to mess with it. So I could put it in at least B tier. I feel like it at least deserves that, but I don't feel like it's that good. I would put Cannon Cart above Flying Machine, because Cannon Cart is actually very nasty sometimes. Does a lot of damage. We'll put that A tier. Mega Knight! Hate a Mega Knight. Don't like fighting them. Love using them. My boys go in S tier because it's a Mega Knight. It's too good. Zappies, another ridiculously good card. Would also put that in S tier. Barbarian Barrel is very good. Not one of the worst spells, not one of the best spells. It's pretty much a cheap log and you get a Barbarian in it. Probably an A tier spell, I'd say. Hunter. Honestly, maybe one of the most underrated cards. I don't know how often Hunter is used. I'm not super high up in Clash Royale, but honestly, Hunter's an A in my eyes. I like Hunter. Royal Ghost. It's a decent card, but I don't use it enough anymore. I love the looks of Royal Ghost, but honestly, he's a C tier. Marcher. I love Marcher. I just got Magic Archer, and I have been having a blast with him. I would put him A tier or S tier. Very good. Now, this is going to be interesting. I don't think I even have a common. No, I have some S tier commons. This is my first, I would say this is one of the most underrated cards in the game that doesn't get used enough, probably, next to Goblin Demolisher. I love Rascals. They are extremely good if you know what you're doing. I think Rascals are they deserve a spot in S tier, 100%. Rascals are amazing. Snowball, that's just a B tier spell. Very good in some situations, but I don't use it enough. Extremely good for taking out Goblin Barrel because they can't even get your tower. Royal Recruits, very funny. Love Royal Recruits. S tier. I don't care what anybody says. Royal Piggies, that's an A tier. I would put it in S, but I don't get to use Royal Piggies enough. Goblin Giants, another A tier. I don't think he deserves S tier. Now, Electro Dragon, I do love me an Electro Dragon. I would put him S tier. Ram Rider, I could care less about. It's a 5 cost, and it's not the best. I would put Ram Rider at probably C tier. Just because it's probably the worst rider in the game. It's the worst charging unit in the game, I'd say. It's good, but a lot of times it's not used. And we got the chip damage guys. I do love skeleton barrels. Whatever these dudes are called. These dudes are fun to use. I put them high. Now, this is another very situational one to really only use most of the time, I would guess, in a Hog Rider deck. Or any like Ram Rider, or, you know. And it's a charging deck. I would say very situation spell, very decent spell. It does also slow units, so that deserves a B tier. Goblin Cage, my old friend. Goblin Cage is annoying as hell. Can take out tanks. Very good against a giant, apparently. I put that A tier. Fisherman is one of the most skilled cards to use, apparently. I've heard. But I also do just like Fisherman. He's an S tier. And E-Golem. Elixir Golem. This one's interesting. Literally one of the most no-skill ones to use, but you can easily get screwed up if you don't use it right. I'm putting him B tier. Very good card, but very hard to use. Or not hard to use. Very easily countered if they don't have good protection for it. And speaking of Elixir Golem's protection, we got Battle Healer. B tier. Very good. Kind of tanky. And it heals with E-Golem. That's all I really ever see her used for. Firecracker, one of the most annoying abominations in the game. As much as I despise Firecracker, it's an A tier. It is good. Can't lie, it's not bad. Royal Delivery, I love this card. It's an S tier spell. Very fun to play. This is kind of another underrated card, but like they're so easy to kill. Skeleton Dragons, I'd probably put at B tier. They're not the best. Electro Spirit, that's just an S tier. Very good. Electro Giant. People don't really use Electro Giant too much, I think, anymore. I love, personally, I love Electro Giant. I think he's very good. Extremely good versus a Swarm. But when it comes to a tower, he's a little bit garbage. But like, he counters Inferno Tower, which is funny if he gets to it. I have to put him A just because he's not good enough to be S. Mother Witch is amazing. This is a S tier card. And reason why, Mother Witch against any Swarm, especially a Skarmy, they might as well surrender. Because I'm going to have 1,000 piggies in their tower. Goblin Drill, I'm not the biggest fan of. It's kind of easy to counter. It doesn't do enough damage to tower, but it's always guaranteed damage. I put it at probably A tier because it is a pretty decent card. Just not that good of fit. Golden Knight! Golden Knight becomes S. Just because Golden Knight is that good of a card. Archqueen. Probably one of my, in my opinion, the worst champions in the game. It is a very good champion, but it's a 5 cost, and it's really only good when you use its ability, I think. I put it B tier. Skeleton King, also another one that's just iffy. You gotta be good with Skeleton King, and 90% of the time someone's gonna have Counter Swarm. So I probably put him above Archer Queen or with Archer Queen. I think he's in B tier in my opinion. Now, Mighty Miner, one of my favorite champions, he's an S tier. Because he's just so good to play. This weird card, Phoenix, I don't think it's good anywhere. I think it's a decent card, but I think it's a D tier because it's just not used enough. We got Mr. Monk himself. He's another, like most of these champions are S tiers. Monk's an S tier. I do love Little Prince. He's one of my highest leveled right now, but he's not an S tier. He's an A tier. He's not good enough to be an S because he's easy as hell to kill. But you get that ability down and you're screwed. Void, underrated, not used enough. I do love Void. I think it at least can be probably C tier. It's not used enough. Not super good, but it can be good. Goblin Demolisher, just never used. One of the lowest rating of being used in a game. That's the Barbarian Hut. But I could slide it to D tier. It's not the worst. Goblin Curse. Goblin Curse is S tier because you got the combo Goblin Curse and Rage. And when used on a Skarmy, you better pray you have arrows. Goblin Machine! Goblin Machine, very solid. I do love Goblin Machine. I would put Goblin Machine A tier. I don't think it's a S tier. I think it's super good, but I don't think it's a S tier. The bushes. These are decent, but easily countered. That's just a C tier. Now, I go back to what I said about the worst champion in the game. I take that back. It's probably the only C tier champion. I don't like Goblinstein that much, and it really depends on how you use it. I don't think Goblinstein's super fantastic of a card. Rune Giant. I love Rune Giant. Cheapest Giant. But it's just not that good. It's also a D tier, I'm afraid. Berserker goes in A tier because Berserker is actually quite useful if you know what to do with a Berserker. Now, the Bandit Queen. Love Bandit Queen. Absolute bull. She is a menace to deal with. She is S tier. Spirit Empress. Oh, we got the ground one and we got that one. I'm putting both Spirit Empresses at S tier because she has just been situational in all of my decks that I've used her in. She has never failed me. And we all know the people who hate Vines. Vines is an S tier, sadly. It's just too good of a card right now. Now, basic. No, we got towers in this. Basic tower, S tier. Cannoneer, A tier. Not the best. Now, this is the worst tower in the game right now. Dagger Dutch is absolute garbage because once she's out of dagger, she's pointless. She's another one of the cards or tower that would just put F tier. I don't think Dagger Duchess is essential at all. It's good versus Swarm. Terrible against a tank. You're screwed. Once she runs out of daggers, you just full throttle her tower. You need good defense for that card to even be essential. Pancake Tower Royal Chef. I love him. He's fun to play. S tier tower. I'm hoping they bring out more towers soon. Now we get to the fun stuff. Evo Skeletons, one of my favorite Evos in the game. A tier. Or S tier. Not A tier. S tier. 100% a S tier. Now we get to one of the most annoying Evos in the game. Evo Firecracker. As good as it is, it's a very good card. Annoying as hell to deal with. Easy to counter. Somewhat, but it does so much damage. It should be in the S tier, but I'm putting it at A tier. But I don't exactly have it. Evil Barbarians. I counter barbarians with Sparky no matter what. These are decent, but it doesn't matter. You have to like. I think Evil Barbs are probably better as a defensive unit. I probably put them B tier. Evo Royal Giant, my boy, is getting S tier. He's just fun to use. Counter Swarm if people try to swarm him. If he's already locked on tower. Evo Mortar. Funny. I do like it. I put it at A tier. I don't think it's quite an S tier. Evo Knight's a B tier. I don't care for Evo Knight. Yeah, he's defensive if he's not attacking. So what? Evo Royal Recruits is interesting. I think it's solid. I put that at A tier. I don't think it's the best. Evo Bats get a straight up S tier because they are nasty and disgusting if you know what you're doing with them. Evo Archers are solid. That's just a solid A tier. I can't complain too much, but they do have to be shooting the enemy from far range for them to work. Another Evo'd Mr. Snowy Man. He is a E tier. He's just super good. You can't go wrong with an Evo. The Evo Snowball. The Evil Snowboy. Anyway, Evo Valkyrie, complete nasty card, super annoying, but it is a S tier Evo. It's super, super good. Way too good, actually. Then we go on to the next Evo, which is Evo Bomber. It's decent, but you do have to be good with the card. Very situational. Is you need to light it up with tower. I put that at A tier. Now, these weirdos, they're decent, but B tier for me. They're solid, but they're not the best. Evo Tesla, absolute nightmare to deal with. Sometimes against a swarm deck, this is your best friend. But honestly, A tier. Evo Zap, easy S tier. It's a zap twice, and I think it does more damage. I could be wrong. Evo Battle Ram. Have not got to use yet. Have barely had it used against me. But for the ideas that I have with this card, Evo Battle Ram with the freaking vines, I put this at S tier because it would be hilarious. Evo Withered, it's solid, but this is just straight up B tier. Evo Goblin Barrel, pretty decent. That's an A tier. Now Evo Goblin Giant, I don't care for Goblin Giant, but this Evo is nasty. It's an S tier. It is a complete S tier. The Evo Goblin Drill, which is very interesting. I don't care for it. I put him at B tier. It's decent. It's solid, but I think it's one of the weirdest Evos. Goblin Cage, the most terrifying Evo, is A tier. This kills anything, I'm pretty sure. I think anything that gets in this vicinity is dead. I'm pretty sure it kills a P.E.K.K.A. I'm pretty sure it kills a Spark. I think it kills anything. Well, probably not a Sparky, because I don't think it gets close enough. But Giant, anything that gets close is dead. I think it kills a Mega Knight. The Evo P.E.K.K.A., it's solid. It's an A. It's not an S. Evo Mega Knight, absolutely disgusting. It's A tier, or S tier. A complete monster. We got Evo Electro Dragon, which is also a S tier. Very good Evo. Evo Musketeer. I personally love Evo Musketeer. I also put it S tier. It is a great Evo. Evo Cannon is probably the first Evo that's just kind of like, it's a C tier. It's not the best. You need to line it up. It's not the most fun, but I think it is a stronger cannon. So it's solid. Evo Snowball, I do love this. I did get it. My first Evo that I got from the Evo shards. But honestly, it's an A, because I've never used it properly. I've never been able to have fun with it. I put it A tier. Evo Dart Goblin, I've not got to use it yet. But I know it's solid because it does poison damage. And I don't know how good the poison damage is, but it's probably good enough to be A tier. Evil Lumberjack's interesting. Once he dies, he summons a ghost. Attacks the tower. I don't think the ghost can be attacked, so if that information is correct, he belongs in S tier. Evil Hunter. Love my Hunter. He's going in A tier. Executioner. I don't even really know what Evil Executioner does. I think it's more damage or something. I don't remember. It's solid. It's just C tier. I don't care. Evo Witch is A tier because it's nasty. Skeletons die. She gets health back. It's pretty decent. Evo Inferno Dragon also S tier. Once it charges up, it keeps the charge. That's disgusting. This is one of the most disgusting ones they released. The freaking Evo Skeleton Barrel is nasty. If you go against an Evo Skeleton Barrel and you don't counter it, you're just dead. Say goodbye to your tower. Evo Furnace is solid, but they did nerf it, I think. So it gets an A tier. It's not an S tier anymore. And we get this disgusting Evo Baby Dragon, which is a nightmare to deal with. This is because this is a complete S tier. And the reason why it's S tier, Evo Baby Dragon with a golem, kiss your ass goodbye. You're not doing anything. Put a Sparky in there too, you might as well give up. And then I was slightly here for this. And I was here for the Trio Wizards too. I could care less about the Trio Wizards. They were funny, just C tier. But I think I was here for the Goblin Rocket too. I don't even know if it did anything different. I'm just gonna put that in C tier. The rest of these, I don't even know. But Ode to Furnace. The Ode Furnace. Oh, this might have been the Goblin Rocket. I don't know. Anyway, Ode Furnace. I'm not sure how good it was. I had used it a little bit. I'd probably put it at B tier. Alright guys, this has been my Clash Royale tier list. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with me. Let me know. Would love to know other people's tier lists. This is what I think are the the tiers for Clash Royale. And obviously there's not many F tiers, but the most F tiers would obviously be Barbarian Hut and the Dagger Tower. They're terrible. I don't know what else to say. I think most people would agree with me. But on the other hand, I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. And let me know if you want to see more, because I'll be happy to do more. I will see you guys in the next one. See ya!